We are obligated, according to the Torah, to recite Shema upon lying down, going to sleep, and upon arising, waking up, every day. We're also obligated to pray for the needs of our heart, as it says, we're also obligated to speak and to study the words of Torah day and night. Question is, what language may we use for these obligations? And what language may we use for these obligations? There are different situations. The word Shema could mean to hear, could mean to listen, but more than that, it means to understand. And that's why the halacha tells us, Shema, when you say the Shema, v'chol loshen shata shemeya, any language that you understand. We find this understanding through Shema when Yosef was confronted by Yehuda. It says, Kishamei Yosef. The brothers didn't know that Yosef hears. He was hearing, was spoken in front of him. They did not know that he understands. So Shema v'chol loshen shata shemeya. You say the Shema could be any language that you understand. Next is certainly the heart. The heart is not necessarily even put into words. The heart is an emotion that's more powerful. Later on, it's transformed into words. The Torah tells us that many things are to be said b'chol loshen, but a number of things, a minority of things, must be in the original Hebraic language as it's written in the Torah, Nevi'im, Uksuvim, either the Torah or in the prophets or in the scripture. Question is for us, what does that mean for us today? Unfortunately, a majority of our people are not fully acquainted with the language of the Shema, the language of the Torah, which is the language of Shemona Esrei. But we also have, as a result, of very conscientious and very great people who have produced and printed Svarim that makes it available for everybody. Even though they do not know the Hebrew language, they are able to see it in the English language, or in the French language, or in the Spanish language, or in the Arabic language, or in the Parsi language. These are the great people of our generation who put all the effort and expenses into translating the holy works. So the question is, for one of us, those of us who are fortunate to know the meaning, Perish Hamilos, to know the translation of the words, fine, no question about it. You do not allow yourself any other language. Just use the original language that was written in the Torah or the Nevi'im or the Ksuvim. And when you study in that language also. But not everybody is fortunate to have that knowledge. And therefore, it's permissible to say, b'chol loshen shata shemeya, any language that you understand. Therefore, so theoretically, it'd be okay for somebody who prays every day to pray in English or Spanish or French or whatever the language might be. That is permissible. And some people might say it's more important because tefillah is a worship of the heart. And if you understand the words, your heart is inspired. On the other hand, it's not done so well. On the other hand, Very often we are able only to say it in the language of the synagogue. And there's a good reason for that. Using the words of the Torah and the Tefillah that were used by Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob thousands of years ago, and by Jews all over the world, that's an emotional bond that we have that supersedes the meaning of each and every word. We know we're standing before Hashem and pleading for ourselves, pleading for Klal Yisrael, pleading for the world as a whole, and we know we're using those words. That's an emotional service. And therefore, in many Orthodox synagogues, the language of the prayer is in the original Hebrew. The reading of the Torah, no question about it, that must be done only in its original, as it's written in the Torah. That must be done. So the end result is, it's certainly recommended, no matter what language you understand, use the language of our tradition and feel inspired by it, and know you're bonding yourself with previous, future, and present generations eternally. How great the feeling is, how meaningful it is. Just like somebody who stands by the Western Wall, how he's inspired. Somebody who goes to the tomb of Mama Rachel, how you're inspired. No matter what your understanding is, no matter your learned languages, you feel the inspiration. Same thing is when we use those same words. Of course, it should be an obligation upon every one of us to learn the meaning of the words and to be able to read those words and understand them. Just like when somebody has to go into a particular business, you learn what you have to.